So before we kick off this little wee talk about mojo, finding one's mojo or confidence, whatever that might mean to you, I got this true nopal cactus water. And it is made with the fruit of the prickly pear. And I'm going to try it for you. I've never tried prickly pear before. That's different. It tastes like fruit water. Natural hydration, refreshing fruit taste. There you go, I got that right. Betalain and antioxidants. Reduces inflammation. That's always good. No sugars added, no GMO, no sodium, gluten-free. I would hope so. Don't know if I like it better than coconut water, but it's okay. It tastes like if you cut up apple and oranges and left it in water overnight and drank the water. That's what this tastes like. I'm on the fence. Okay. There you go. True nopal. Try it if you dare. So what I wanted to talk about today, let's get comfortable. This could be a full-on ramble, is finding your mojo, getting your confidence, whether you've had it at one point and lost it, or you just never had it in the first place. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day, and she completely shocked me when she said that she really doesn't have a good relationship with food and her body. And it really rocked me, because to me, she's always been someone who's incredibly confident and completely at ease with herself. That's what she portrays. And then she just said to me, no, I feel guilty when I have a good yummy meal, and I constantly can't stand the way I look. And I thought, well, A, she needs an Oscar, because she definitely kept that under wraps, because I thought she was really confident. But B, it got me thinking, wow, you know, here's another amazing woman who is beautiful, talented, runs her own business, is an amazing mum, and yet she hates, you know, that's what she said, she hates her body and beats herself up every time she has a yummy meal. And it's just overwhelming when I think about all the women in my life and all the friends I have, and this lack of confidence is just so overwhelming, and there is no reason for it. So what I thought I'd do today is just give you some tips that have helped me, because I always joke to my friends and say I have reverse body dysmorphia. I look in the mirror and I'm usually pretty damn happy with what I see. And I know that I'm not a supermodel, and I know that throughout my life people call me weird looking, and for some reason, I don't know, that doesn't really affect me, and I just seem to be able to brush it off and focus on the positive. So I thought maybe I could help you if you are feeling like shit. My first tip for you is I try to give myself a pep talk as if I'm talking to a best friend. So when I think of any negative talk in my head, or I'm struggling to do something, I pretend that I'm giving advice to my best friend. And it's amazing how instantly your talk changes, your inner dialogue changes, because you wouldn't talk to a friend the way you talk to yourself. And immediately you're saying nice things and encouraging things, and generally your intuition is bang on. The way that you would speak to a friend is exactly what you need to tell yourself, but you never do, because for some reason we always off the cuff tell ourselves we're worthless, we're too fat, we're stupid, we're not worthy of people's love, etc., etc. And in actual fact, you know, we should be actually saying, hey, you know, snap out of it. You're amazing. You're this, that, and the other. You've got all this going for you. So I would try doing this and see how instantly you actually find solutions for problems, and realize that you actually already know what you should be thinking and what you should be doing, but for some reason you don't trust yourself. You don't trust that you are confident enough, and in actual fact you probably are. So if that doesn't help so much, write down some advice for yourself, get it down on paper, and it just makes it clearer where these feelings are coming from, and then the solutions tend to come as well. Generally, if you're feeling like you're overeating and you've been lazy, it's quite easy to talk yourself out of that. But generally, I think the negative self-talk comes when we feel like we have been rejected by someone, or we really want something but we feel we're holding back because of past experiences where our confidence has been shook. So I think sometimes just thinking through why we're feeling crappy, where does that come from, and also understanding too that maybe if someone has said something to you in the past, whether it be the illiterate bully who said something to you as a kid and you've hung on to that, or it's an abusive ex-spouse, generally what they've said to you is just a stream of consciousness which has come out at a point when they're angry and lashing out, because it's not about you, it's about them. And they haven't understood that what they've said to you has really affected you because you have respected them or maybe even loved them as a person. So what is really helpful is if you think about, okay, what is it that's making me feel down? If it's come from another person, that's their stuff. It's not you, it's them. And who's to say that whatever they said was right? If it's been about your looks, who are they to say? They're not perfect either. So yeah, writing it down, understanding where this negative self-talk is coming from, and then giving yourself a pep talk as you would to your best friend or a loved one, really helps you put everything into perspective, and from probably a more nurturing angle than what you're probably giving yourself, because all you're doing at the moment is berating. The second thing is to try, if you can, not focus on the way you look. And you can do this by focusing on being as healthy as you possibly can and being as fit as you possibly can. I have a lot of clients who say that it's really hard for them to stay motivated because they're not seeing the results they want quick enough. And they want the number on the scale to drop, or they want their clothes to feel loose. They want that instant gratification. And just being on that track can be incredibly destructive, because it's almost like, you know, you're fighting a losing battle. As soon as you sort of move away from that focus on losing weight, leaning up, and focus on a fitness goal, and focus on fueling yourself with the best quality food possible, you'll instantly start feeling the positive results from that. Just by knowing every day that you're doing your utmost best, nourishing yourself with great food, and working towards being fitter and stronger, will happen a lot faster and will be, let me guarantee you, a hell of a lot more satisfying than looking for that number on a scale. And I'm not going to go into that right now, but you should not be weighing yourself. Definite no, don't do it. I'll do another video about that. So if you're focusing on being as fit as possible, gaining as much lean muscle mass as possible, then you will actually end up looking better. It's a given, you know, you're going to be fitter, therefore you're going to be in better shape. how many athletes, professional athletes, do you see walking around looking fat and out of shape? You just don't, do you? And that's because they're focused on their one goal, which is being the best at their given sport. And they look amazing for it. So if you think like an athlete, the rest will come because you're in great shape. Doesn't that seem a hell of a lot more easy than beating yourself up every day, weighing yourself, measuring yourself and going, no, I'm not a size whatever, I'm not blah 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 on the scale. Do you know most professional athletes weigh a hell of a lot more than you probably think because they're pure muscle? Do you think they're weighing themselves every day? Hell no. They don't give a crap. They just want to be the best at whatever sport they're doing. So think like an athlete. Live your life like an athlete. Fuel your body with food for energy. And that's another great tip too, is thinking of food as the best possible petrol you can put in your body for the best performance you possibly can. So fueling yourself for your work, to be the best mum you can be, the best partner, the best you can be, is a hell of a lot more positive than beating yourself up every day, telling yourself you can't have, won't have, shouldn't have. Get yourself out of that, because it will make you feel like crap, and you will inevitably feel like you're losing, because no one can keep up with that kind of mentality. It's an incredibly negative, I shouldn't say stupid, but it's an incredibly hard way to live if you're constantly telling yourself that you can't have, wouldn't have, shouldn't have, la la la, when in actual fact you could be saying, yeah, you can have that, you know, and then I'm going to work out damn hard and I'm going to smash my fitness goal. I'd much rather live like that. My next tip is to talk to someone who is a guy, a male friend. Guys are many things, and one of them is that they are incredibly honest, but also they will give you a male perspective. So if you're feeling really crappy about your body image, about the way you look, talking to a male friend that you trust can actually make you feel a hell of a lot better. Now, the reason for this is because men will tell you straight up what they think of you and how they think you look. Pretty much most men will tell you that, okay, they might say that they would lust after the perfect woman in the size 8 dress, size 0 dress if you're in America, and who looks like a supermodel. But in actual fact, if they were being really honest, they would probably say that they're far more interested in a girl who maybe doesn't look like a supermodel, but she's got something about her that's really sexy. Something you can't put your finger on, like an X factor. You know, guys are affected by what they see in the media too, and they will say that they love a certain body type, a certain look, but in actual fact, they don't. They're just like us, you know, they're open to all kinds of body types and looks. And it really is that certain je ne sais quoi, something you can't put your finger on, but it's generally when a person is feeling really good about themselves, they're really okay with who they are as a person, they will instantly have this amazing allure to them, the spark that you're drawn to, because they like who they are and they want to share that with people, and they're open to meeting people, and they're not hung up on the way they look. And I know you're probably saying to me, yeah, I want to be like that, but I can't because I am hung up on the way I look. So talking to a guy will give you their perspective as a male on what they think is cool and what they see in you as a person, which is, you know, what your allure is to them, you know, what's amazing about you. Sometimes, you know, if we surround ourselves by our girlfriends, although they don't mean to, but we can feed off their negative self-talk. So if we see them beating themselves up we'll immediately start doing it to ourselves too, because they might be slimmer than us, and then we'll automatically think, oh gosh, what do they think of me if they're calling themselves fat? And I'm not saying don't hang out with your girlfriends, but just talking to a guy whose opinion you trust and getting their perspective on what they think is attractive and what they like in a girl can really, really help. And I'm incredibly grateful to some of the male friends that I have, because they really help me see things from a different perspective. And if anything, that's probably been one of the most effective things that have boosted my confidence, because I always remind myself of those conversations I have with guy friends. And number one thing is, guys are simple. Guys are run by their juniors in their pants, and they will pretty much sleep with anything, okay? You don't have to be a supermodel. But to capture the sort of guy that you want in your life, who's going to be an amazing partner, you want to capture them with your personality, don't you? You've already got the thing that they want to sleep with. Don't even worry about that. Just concentrate on being the best person you want to be. And that's the thing. It's the person you want to be, not the person you think you should be. And being positively, constantly affected by media telling you the way you should look is another thing that is really destructive. It's okay to admire people who have the certain kind of bodies that you think are amazing, because they're rare, let's face it. Ripped abs and amazing muscle tone, or very slim limbs, you know, and tall supermodels. We aspire to look like these people because there aren't many of them around, you know. These are genetic freaks. The beauty industry use these people to sell us products because they know that we will never look like that. And yet they're telling us we should. And that's the way they sell products. And we have to always remind ourselves of that look is not realistic, and we will never look like that. And even if we did look like that, we would not be happy. I have been extremely lean and very, very, very skinny in my life, and I can tell you right now, I was miserable. I got to that point and I sacrificed a lot because I worked out hard and I ate a very, very clean diet. And I realized that in order to get to that point, I had shut out everyone in my life, my friends and family, because in order to get to look like that, I had to live a very antisocial lifestyle. So sure, I got to look amazingly skinny and you know, abs and muscle, but what did I have to show for it? I had a body and nothing else. So what you see in Instagram and Facebook and online is not the true story. You know, they've made a lot of sacrifice to look like that, and although their life might look amazing in pictures, it probably isn't that good at all. So you never know what's happening behind those images. So remind yourself of that as well. Another thing is focusing on something that will make your confidence go through the roof. So for me, that was when I was in my late teens. I had very little self-confidence. I was a very good actress, pretending that I liked who I was, but in actual fact, I was very, very lost. And I remember thinking, what can I try and achieve in that will make me feel like I've accomplished something huge? And for me, that was public speaking. I found it incredibly hard. God, okay, that's why I can't talk. I'm talking myself hoarse. When I was a teenager, I couldn't talk to people. I would blush and I would stumble on my words. And of course, the more I tried to talk, the more it would happen. And it was this awful cycle. So in a moment of absolute genius and clarity, I thought to myself, what can I do? So I enrolled in a film course, and part of that film course involved acting and public speaking. And I remember the first few weeks being made to do all these horrifying acting classes and being made to do all these completely humiliating little activities. So these acting classes are incredibly useful for basically enabling an actor to feel the confidence and the security, the safety to be a good actor. But what it also does is, for people in general, it helps you become acutely aware that everybody is the same. We all have insecurities. We all fear being judged. And acting really taught me such an amazing lesson in that it's okay. It's okay to be you. It's okay to be weird. It's okay to be exactly who you are, because everybody is the same, really. We all have these fears. And from that, I just felt that it enabled me to be a far more confident person. I mean, that would be my number one tip, is to do something like an acting class or Toastmasters. It may sound incredibly geeky and nerdy, but I guarantee you will get valuable lessons in who you are as a person and how to accept yourself. You know, it's accepting that you are just you, and that is completely okay. And no one should ever ask more of you than that. You shouldn't ask more of you than that. And I guess that's probably why I'm, the way I am now, because I'm, completely okay with being imperfect and just accepting that having flaws and imperfections is what makes people really interesting. Man, just harnessing that, and going for it, owning it. If you think of some of the most influential musicians or artists in the world, they didn't look perfect, but what they did was they focused on a passion and a goal, and they went for it, and that's what made them amazing, because they touched you in a way that was inspirational, because they did something, I guess, that not many people do, and that is become successful at whatever they did that was amazingly genius. And I think when you discover in your life your passion and you focus on that, everything else will fall into place, and you will become an attractive person no matter what, because you're interesting, because you're fascinating, because you have this thing that you love and you can talk about it no end. Oh yeah, one last thing, gratitude. I need more cactus. Maybe the cactus water is making me hoarse. I think it's because I'm talking too much. Gratitude. Oh my God, gratitude. Being grateful for who you are, the person you are, your body, your family, everything that you have or have experienced in life will make you feel pretty darn good. Even on your shittiest day, if you write down the things that you have in your life that are pretty darn cool, I'm pretty sure it'll be hard to feel shitty when you look at that paper and you go, wow, that's actually a really full piece of paper, and I do have more things in my life to feel grateful than I first thought when I woke up this morning. When you're 90 and you look back on the photos of your life, I'm going to guarantee that the last thing you'll be thinking is, God, shouldn't have eaten that cake, or, what was I thinking wearing those jeans? You'll be thinking, holy shit, I was hot. I was so much slimmer than I remember thinking. And you'll be thinking, yeah, youth is definitely wasted on the young. because I hate to say it, but life is short, and why live it wasting your precious energy on worrying on how you look when you could be putting on the makeup, doing your hair, wearing that pretty dress that you wish you had the confidence to wear but don't because of some stupid hang-up? Why not go and enjoy it? Why? Why should you not go out and enjoy these things? Who's to say that you're not worthy of it? No one else but you. You're the only one holding yourself back. Another thing that's got me out of bed on a glum day is thinking to myself, how many people in the world are less attractive, way more, have less personality, less sass, but yet are going out and succeeding and doing the things that I want to do. I can guarantee you there's a lot. So why shouldn't I get out of bed? Why shouldn't I attack the day with vigor and enthusiasm and go for the things that I want and know that I'm worthy of people's appreciation and respect? Why shouldn't I? And why shouldn't you? So go and do it. Just do it. I guarantee you're not going to lose anything by going out and telling yourself, give yourself that pep talk and tell yourself you are good enough. And all those people that may have said things to you in your life, who's to say that they didn't have stuff going on in their mind and they simply just said something to you without even thinking, and yet you've held on to that. And you remind yourself of that and you make yourself feel small and not good enough because this Nuna over here had a big mouth. Are you going to let this dickhead over here rule your life? Hell no. Fuck off. So, gratitude. Give yourself that pep talk. Focus on health. Focus on being an athlete. Yeah, you. Be an athlete, man. Live like an athlete. Fill yourself with good food. Don't worry about all these calories and diets and blah, blah, blah. Forget it. Eat to live, man. Eat to live. I sound like a hippie. Eat to live, man. But do it. Talk to some guys that you respect and know and who are like really nice people. Make sure they're nice people, okay? Don't talk to any old man on the street. That would be weird. And think about focusing on something that will give you the confidence, something that scares the shit out of you. And if you can achieve that, my God, your confidence will go through the roof. Even if you're just working towards it for your whole life, I guarantee it'll make you feel better, whether it's public speaking, some kind of hobby or sport, dance. Focus on what you love. Go out and get it. Think of that one thing that you would love to do and go for it. I guarantee you confidence will be pouring out of you. And circle of influence. Surround yourself with people who are going to boost you up, support you, make you feel better. Not people that sit around constantly thinking about their thigh gap or how many ribs are showing or trying to look a certain way, which is all very well and good. But you know what? You could be wearing that killer dress and those heels that you love so much and rocking it just as well the way you look now than you would if you're a skinny pinny falling over because you're so hungry or you fill up with diet pills or something ridiculous like that. So I hope this helped, and I'm sorry it was such a rambly rant, but hopefully you got some good little tips out there that made you think, I can do that. I can do that. Yes, you can do that. So thank you for watching. Remember, hit that subscribe button, and I'd love you to follow me on social media. And I'll see you next time.